Okay, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. We are giving ourselves about 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get search more people. I'm seeing some people inboxing saying they are trying to rush to log in. This is a very important session. It's just the first, but not the last. And I would like to give it the best opportunity for as many people to hear this conversation. Particularly, some people are just graduating from universities, from various courses. Someone could have done social sciences or arts in arts and is wondering, is there a path? So it's a very interesting conversation that we need to have to encourage and provide some sort of strategic guideline on what can be achieved. So you're most welcome. Let's just give it. We are starting in the next 4 minutes. You see the numbers going up. We're expecting a lot of people who have signed up. Some of them with the time difference issues, being an evening in Uganda and the rest part of East Central Africa. So we'd like to, I'm happy to report that the discussants, I think, are present. Mr. Johnson Kizito is around. I can see Professor Eddie, all the way from Qatar. You're welcome, sir. Barak is around as well. Thank you. I can see my good friend Kato Jacob from Ruforum. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, and Jerry, all the way from Kenya. You're welcome. I see some friends of mine from all the way from Namibia. So you're welcome. So let's try to. Just the next 3 minutes, we'll get started. Just.
End up presenting, so you'll have to mute.
We waited long enough. I think you were going to have the conversation. I would like to, first of all, welcome all of you in your different capacities. All protocols observed. And thank you for showing the interest. I just bring the background of this conversation tonight. For a number of years, some of you may not know me, but I'm going to introduce myself. I'm called Dr. Drake Patrick Mirembe. I happen to have spent nearly 20 years, over 20 years in the ICT industry. I've had a chance to work with some of the reputable organizations, including Microsoft, where I happen to establish, but also manage the Microsoft Innovation Center, which was the very first of its kind in Southern Africa. Then I also worked with ITU, the International Education Union, where I was spearheaded the establishment of the ITU Centers of Excellence, which now the IT Academy runs on globally. I also worked with Cisco Systems, where I managed the Academy Technical Support Center for about nearly 10 years, where I was supporting about 11 African countries. That was based in Makerere as well. So after that, I had a stint to work in the industry, really around the areas of innovation development. I was one of the first pioneers of people who was organizing the first Innovation Expo in Uganda, and then the Innovation and Innovation Award. I was the very first individual who conceptualized and then were able to run it with UCC. And those of you remember, if you memory serves you well, were there, you realize that I was among the first judges that laid the foundation. With my colleagues, we've been able to refresh the sector. For example, we developed the strategy for African Telecommunication Union, for which we're very passionate about how can have digital transformation of Africa, and how can African Telecommunication Union be able to contribute to that agenda. Nationally, I've been part of the teams that have shaped a lot of national programs and thoughts. If you all have had a program called the National ICT Innovation Support Program, NISIP, it happens to have been one of the architects of that program, where the government of Uganda, I think, spent nearly 100 billion trying to activate the ecosystem, create opportunities. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's me. But on this call, we have very distinguished people and speakers. I will recognize a few and then make a simple exception if I see there are some very, very senior pillars in the industry. And one of them is Professor Eddie Kamushabe. He's a former Vice Chancellor of Uganda Technical Management University. He's currently a professor based in Qatar. And I will actually ask him to share his thoughts since we're also learning. I'm expecting Professor Jude Lega, the Vice Chancellor of Kumba University, and one of the pioneers really of ICT development. He's recognized here, is around. I will also give him a chance to share one or two words. For now, those will be the exceptions that maybe I can add. In that respect, I have my two other colleagues, Mr. Jonathan Kizito. If all of you don't know, he's a software guru and the gentleman who built the very first SMS engine and payment gateway, I think in Sub-Saharan Africa. So when you try to do those payment integrations, the gentleman behind that is with us and is going to share some experience. And then we have my colleague Muhindo, who is a lead software developer at iTech, and is going to also give us some experience. So this is how we're going to go. I'm going to ask Mubarak to break the ice, and then after Mubarak's talk, I will invite Jonathan to share his thoughts. Then after Jonathan will come in, then I'll have the two distinguished professors have a thought moment, and then I crown with some sort of statistics. The aspiration of this program is extremely important. So in the interest of testing time, I will let my colleagues introduce themselves at the time when they are going to speak. However, I would like to know people who have attended and their interest. So you can use your chat, you can put your name, your email address, and then you let us know what are you interested in, what interests you in this program. so we can get back to you, because this, at the end, I'm going to indicate to you why we are doing this. And it will be nice, you're going to be in touch and having this conversation over and over again, so that we can achieve the objective of this initiative. With those many words opening up, allow me to introduce Mubarak. So Mubarak, maybe for the interest, I did put on my mic because I was fearing the lighting might not be, sorry, I meant my camera. Oh, my lighting wasn't very clear when I'm hiding in this part of the world, but this is me. So if you can see me, you can simply also go to Google, and if you type and say Drake Mirembe, I think the first 20 or 30 pages that you read up will talk about me. So you can just read more of the things I've done and the things I do. And just maybe, yes, so encourage, please put in the chat who you are, your name, maybe the organization you are in, and then spell your contact as well, and maybe what makes you interested in this program. Be nice for us to know, and definitely I'll get back to you with a lot of interesting information. Thank you very much. So Barak, can you kindly thank you. Your lighting is better than mine. So kindly, I'm going to time you, I'll give you about 10 to 12 minutes or about, so that we can give this program a little bit more exciting news.
All right.
Barak, over to you.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Drake, thank you so much for that good introduction. My name is Muhindo Embark. I'm a software developer and I'm also a tutor. So I'm going to take you through my presentation. So I hope I'm going to be very attentive. It's going to be brief and short, and it's going to hold our main topic of today. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. So the theme of today, the theme of today is coined as "Is coding right for you?" So as you can see, the question is asking, it's a kind of question that, the theme is kind of question that is asking if coding is right for you. Just like the way Dr. Drake said, maybe you find yourself that you did arts in arts, or I did like totally something that is not touching on science or technology, but you always have this kind of question, can I really do coding? So this presentation is going to answer you, and you'll tell whether coding can be suitable for you or not. So we'll begin by defining what is coding. Coding is giving instruction to a computer in a language that it understands. So as you can see, that it is very straightforward. So when we give instructions to the computer in a language, just like the way you hear the word language, that it can understand, that is what we call coding. So if coding was a word that is new to you, so you now understand what it means. So you can imagine building a robot. So a robot is something that will take a command. Let's say like you can command it to move to left and then command it to move to right. So that can be a very fast step. So from those two steps, from that first step, or all those two steps that you have done, you can build on those ones to make something that can move from any direction that you can command it. So coding is like providing step-by-step instructions to move the robot, just like I've explained. It is not magic. It's just logical process that everyone can learn. So this answers your question whether coding is right for you. So the question is obvious. If you can learn coding, then it means that it is right for you. So why could you need to learn coding? So in coding, it will unlock your creativity. For example, building websites, building games, building mobile applications or web application, or anything that you can imagine. So if you know how to code, it means that you can sit just in an empty room with your computer and you can come up with something that can solve a problem. For example, you can build a website. But if you don't know how to code, then it means that you can't even have ideas of things that code can do. So that is the reason why you may need to learn how to code. So also coding will help or can help you to solve real world problems by creating tech solutions for the community or the world. For example, I'll give you a real world example. Right now, I've built, my family is very, very big. We are around 1,000 plus people. So they have been suffering with a database of a family where we had a physical book and they are writing the names of the family there in the book. So every year we have a family meeting. So when we could meet, we could trace the new members who have joined the family, of people who are born or who have died. So they tasked me to build for them a database. So I made for them a family application, and they have feed there the information of the family. So right now it is very simple for the family to know the newborns, to know people who have died, to get the news updates, to know who is the brother to who is the sister to who. So you can just sit on your phone and then you're able to browse into the whole family and be able to link the whole family tree. So if I didn't know how to code, I wouldn't have solved that real world problem. That is just a simple one example that I've shown you that coding can do. However, there are thousands and thousands of solutions that you can do in a way that if you're not employed, you can be able to make your own your own employment or your own solutions. So it will also boost your career. Coding skills are high demanding and they open doors to exciting jobs. Right now, I'll not give this basing on my testimonials, but I'll give it on a scope of everyone. So if you know how to code, let's say that you're a teacher at a certain school, and you've added a coding skill on your CV. So how does it mean when a school will need some kind of a management system, you can be able to code it. When a school needs maybe a simple accounting system, you'll be able to provide it. When your school needs, for example, an attendance system, so you'll find still an opportunity whereby you'll be able to fix yourself in the world, and that will add on your career, and it will consequently add on your values. So that is also another reason that you may need to know how to code. And there are so many reasons. That is just one scenario, but you can imagine in whatever industry that you're in, when you know how to code and how that can enhance your career. So it also become a tech lead, shape the future of the technology and innovation. So how can you get started with coding? It's easier than you think. There are so many free online courses and resources and tutorials available on internet. Among the people who provide free courses that you can learn at your own pace, we ourselves, 8 Learning and 8 Technologies, we provide courses that can show you from zero and how you and guide you up to the level where you can start making solutions. So that is a simple way, or the first simple way how you can get started with coding. And you can also start with a beginner friendly languages like Python from scratch or anything. Practice practice regularly. You can just practice for 15 minutes a day. So imagine these 15 minutes a day, you can use them to browse just WhatsApp status or do something that is not going to add a very significant value on you. So, but if you spare only 15 days to look at a tutorial that 8 Learning provides, or look at something that teaches coding, or it cannot be 8 Learning, it can even be any source, but that teaches coding consistently for 15 minutes every day, in a period of 1 month, you'll see that you'll be able to start connecting dots. As I said at beginning, that coding is just something that you'll do step by step. If I have remaining enough minutes, like 4 of them, I'll show you, but I'm remaining with 6 minutes. So let's pray that I finish in time so I can be able to show you how coding is simple practically. So you can also join coding communities for support and inspirations. So and inspiration. We already have communities at ATEC. Even me, I already have my community under ATEC. It's called Learn It with Muhindo. So if you join such kind of a community, have WhatsApp group. We will show you, or will keep on inspiring you by showing you or by guiding you the path to take, and also maybe trying to motivate you when you're about to give up. So those are the few steps that you can take to get started with coding, if those benefits that we discussed can add value on you, or you think can add value on you. So let's look at coding for Africa, a world of opportunities. So African tech or African technologies scene is still booming, creating massive demand for the skilled coders. So we don't have a serious community in Africa. So we don't have like a in Africa, the industry of coding, of programming, is still very virgin, in a way that we don't have a very popular technology that we have invented in Africa. So you still have that chance to come up with one. For example, if you look at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of these ones were innovated outside Africa. So it means that if you become a programmer in Africa or a coder in Africa, you never know, the next innovation can be yours. So there's still an opportunity. So leaving that high level target, still look at your villages, look at the place where you live. Still you'll be able to find opportunities if you decide to think and try to get an idea that can be solved by a mobile application, or by a web application. So also coding empowers you to create solutions for your community's challenges. As I've given you my real world example, that I have been able to create a family tree mobile application for my family, and we are now being able to connect using that mobile application. So you can also build applications for education, healthcare, agriculture, and more. So become a tech entrepreneur and change the future of Uganda, and also the future of Africa at large. And I will show you the simple steps that you can use to get started with coding. So we come back to our question as the final question: is coding again right for you? So according to, as far as my presentation is concerned, though the few things that I've just elaborated, again, let's ask ourselves, is still coding right for us? So you can answer yourself still by asking yourself again these questions. Do you enjoy problem solving and thinking creatively? Are you curious about how technology works? Do you want to make a positive impact on your community, or on the scene where you are? So if this question ring a bell to you, then it means that definitely coding is right for you. So unleash your coding potential with 8 Learning. So 8 Learning is a platform that is provided by 8 Technologies. We master skills that are in demand through our comprehensive online training programs. So I've already designed some training programs that can guide you to get started from zero, or even if you are already know the basics of, like for example, HTML, still you are able to elevate you from where you are by designing these 4 courses for you. We have web development for beginners. This is when someone doesn't know anything about web programming, and then you are able to build it from scratch. Then we've also designed another course, advanced web programming. This is when you already know your basic PHP or anything, or you tried coding and you want to advance it so you can start making solutions. We already have that course. So we also have another course called WordPress for WordPress development. So this is for people who don't want to involve themselves in coding, but they want to make solutions like building school websites, portfolios, or their personal website, or for companies. So you have a course on WordPress. So in WordPress, you don't need to know anything about coding. So lastly, we also have a course on mobile application development. Let's say that you already know the basics of web, and you already know maybe backend programming language like PHP. We bring you also mobile application development. Would you like also to learn how to create mobile apps? So at ATEC, or at 8 Learning Institute of Technology, we bring you that course. So these are brief benefits that you will get if you get started with learning these courses. So first of all, you learn at your own pace. Our lecturers or our tutors are designed in a way that even our courses are designed in a way that you can learn at your own pace or depending on your program. So you'll also be able to gain practical skills. We don't concentrate too much on theory and notes. Here we are targeting people who are already in vacation, or people who have finished the program in university, bachelor's, or their programs, and they want now to get the practical skills. How can I make a real world project? So at 8 Learning, we'll be able to do what? To award you with that skill if you subscribe to one of our courses. Then you can also earn you'll also be able to earn your recognized certificate. So 8 Learning is already registered education institution in Uganda, and once you complete our course, you'll be able to give you a certificate, and you can use that certificate to apply for your job. Also, you'll be able to join a supportive community of learners. We also offer internship in a way that when you join immediately and you've understood what we've been teaching, you'll automatically we will automatically link you to our different projects, and hence you'll not be idle. You'll be able to get a job and start getting paid. So that is it for what I had prepared for you. I remain Muhindo Embark. We shall share the video of this recording after our presentation. So in case I was too fast and you're not able to get a point, you can have that playback and understand what we've been talking. So to finish, yeah, just 1 minute, Doctor. To finish, we'll be able to share with you the links to where you can learn more about what we've presented, even this slide, and also the video, and also the link that you can be able to do what? To sign up for a course, even the course outlines in case you're interested. I submit, Dr. Drake. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not going to unmute it, so I'm going to thank Mubarak. So I'm going to, for the interest of our audience, to go to the more serious stuff from Mubarak. So the key question is, why coding, right? And I think most of you are here are wondering. So I want to pull numbers and I try to excite this conversation. And I bring to you a perspective of why we thought hard and deeper to start up with this initiative. Now, number one, globally, if you let me check. So the number of software developers has increased from 24.5 million to 28 million, about 29 million as of today. Yeah, so that's the global estimated number of software developers. Now, when you go to the country contribution, so let's check. Actually, of the 28 million, China contributes nearly about 34% of the software developers. Now, I'm going to show you something very, very interesting about China. I don't know where my statistics are. China and India. China, yes. So India has 5.8 million developers. 5.8 million developers. Now, to give you a context, the population of China and India and Africa is actually, the difference is not that much. Yeah, maybe about 100 million people. But just look at the number of software developers in Africa. As of today, as I speak to you, the traceable statistics indicate that there are about 690,000 software developers in the whole of Africa. Now, look at the countries on top. South Africa has 133,000, Egypt 120, Nigeria, Kenya. So you can see Kenya where they are